What's going on, people? So, my last little performance review for today, and I guess for this week right now. This right here, the Nike Pegasus Premium. This happens to be the Persian Violet colorway, right? So, maybe some of you remember is the whole thing, like they went all in on the midsole, right? With the 3 layers. Then they went all in on the pricing because these come in at 210. Not a light price, not at all, right? And for what you get, you're kind of getting screwed, honestly, right? Because these are a running shoe, right? That they're sitting there in like the running shoe category. If you go to the Nike webpage, a while ago when Nike was down here, they were doing demo runs with the Vomero 18 and with the Pegasus Premium. I wasn't around that day, but I heard from people who were that the general consensus like this was not so much of a favorite, whereas the Vomero 18 people were super into. But I'll tell you how I feel, right? This is a performance sort of follow up or whatever, not going to be super in depth, just my straight up opinion of how things went for me, right? So take it, do whatever you want to do with it. These right here, running in these, it just kind of sucks, honestly, right? Because to me, and to give you some sort of idea, like for my average running, right, I'm usually in like the like 7 to like 7:45, like mostly on the lower end, especially if it's like a shorter distance, as in like 4 and 5 and under. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere like that. So running quickly in these, it just doesn't feel good. Like this, the 3 layers of the midsole here, it just felt unstable and wobbly to me, right? And I even kind of noticed that just walking around in them. That I was like, man, it's comfortable. Like walking around. Like I can't say it's not. It just feels weird. And I mean, for that reason, I wouldn't even like wearing these to like the gym because depending on what I'm doing, if it's say like I'm standing there doing like bicep curls or something where you want some stability under your foot, this is not going to give it to you. They look really cool, sure, but the functionality is a thing that should also matter, especially when you're coming in at 210, right? Now, going out, I did just to be able to say that you can do it or whatever. I did a 5K in these, and it was high 20s or low 21s, right? I forget what my final time was, but at least at that particular time, it was my fastest 5K. So there's that. But the reason I bring that up is because, like, yes, these aren't made for running or speed or anything like that, in my opinion, but you can get the results in anything if you really care to put the effort in. So there is that to be said. But past that, though, even though I'm not the biggest fan, I mean, the upper was fine. It's just like the midsole on it, midsoles, I should say, that gave me the problem. But past that, though, like I said, these come in at 210, which is a pretty hefty price tag. So give me some other stuff that's around that ballpark. Something to think about, right? So first off, I'm a big fan of this right here. This is going to be the Glycerin Max, right? It's from Brooks. You can tell by that big old Brooks thing on the side, right? So a whole lot of cushion going on in here, right? Again, not really built so much for the speed of things, but you can move along at a pretty decent pace. The biggest thing being that you're going to have a whole lot of cushion under your foot. So if you're going out there for a while, this is going to be a good one to have, or if it's like a slower pace, just so you can lighten the impact on your knees and everything. The Glycerin Max is going to be one of the best things out there, in my opinion. I would say it's one of, so far, we're only in, it's May 23rd right now, so we're only so far into the year. But I would say that it's one of my better purchases for as far as sneaker things go for 2025. And I bought a lot of shoes in 2025. This one right here, also an even 200. I don't know if I said that. The Brooks is an even 200. The Superblast, an even 200. Very much of a similar presentation in some ways, right? Big, thick midsole and whatnot, super light on the upper. The only difference being that to me, these work a lot better for speed. I did my, what was it, a 10K in these at like a 7:30 pace or something like that, 7:20, 7:30, something like that. And it was a smooth sailing the whole time. Liked it a whole lot, right? Even bought another pair at some other point. Whereas something like these, I don't think I've done any actual events in these, but I've done some respectable times, it works out okay, right? Again, I use them more for like the recovery runs and stuff. This, I don't know what I'm going to use this for other than just like occasionally walking around in. because I spent $210 on it and it's mine now. So I got to do something with it. But yeah, I don't mean to like make this sound like super negative or whatever. I would throw the positives out there, but I honestly am not sure as far as like functionality goes. Like, I'm not really sure what to say because everything that this is going for, like, there's just something else that's doing it better, in my opinion, right? But they, again, the visual is really cool, so they've definitely got that going for themselves. So that's gonna be it for me. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I've covered all my little performance reviews and whatnot, so they'll all be going into some sort of playlist if this is a thing that you want to hear more of. Cool, they are there for you to watch and listen to and all that stuff across a handful of different types of things. So there's that. Later, people.